In 2008, Dubai property prices collapsed by 60% in 18 months. Thousands of investors lost everything. Projects were abandoned mid-construction. People fled the country overnight. And yet, a small group of investors quietly made some of the best returns of their careers in that exact same crash. Same market, same year, completely opposite outcome. The question worth asking isn't whether Dubai is a good investment, it's whether you understand the difference between speculating in Dubai and investing in it. Most people who invest in Dubai property follow the same playbook. They watch the market heat up. They see friends or colleagues talking about returns. They find a developer launch in a hot area with a payment plan that sounds manageable. They buy, and then they wait. That's not investing. That's speculation dressed up as investing. And the difference matters enormously because speculation is a bet on the market moving in your favor. Real investing is a strategy that produces returns regardless of where the market goes next. Dubai's property market is genuinely dynamic. That's one of its greatest strengths as an investment destination, but dynamic cuts both ways. The same forces that create tenfold returns can erase capital just as fast. And what separates the investors on either side of that outcome is almost never luck. That question is more relevant right now than it has been in years. The broader Middle East is navigating a period of genuine uncertainty, and any investor paying attention is asking how regional tension translates into property risk. It's a fair question, and the answer tells you a great deal about what kind of market Dubai actually is. Meet two investors, we'll call them A and B. Both entered the Dubai property market in 2006 and 2007 when the market was running hot. Both were intelligent, informed people with real capital to deploy. Both believed in Dubai's long-term story. Their approaches, however, were completely different. Investor A bought off plan in one of the most talked about new developments in the city. The location was prime, or at least it was prime on a map that mostly showed empty desert. The developer was reputable. The payment plan was structured around construction milestones, which felt manageable. The projected capital appreciation figures were extraordinary. Other buyers at the launch were visibly excited. Investor A bought 2 units, one to hold, one to flip before completion. Investor B took a different approach. Instead of chasing projected appreciation in a new area, they focused on an established high-occupancy neighborhood with a proven rental history. The yields weren't spectacular, around 7 to 8% annually. The capital appreciation story was slower. The property itself was less glamorous, but the fundamentals were solid. Demand was real. Supply was constrained and cash flow was positive from day one. Then 2008 arrived. The global financial crisis hit Dubai with particular force. Off-plan developments were the first to collapse. Buyers couldn't complete purchases, developers couldn't finish builds, and entire projects were simply abandoned. Investor A's 2 units became liabilities. The flip was impossible. The hold was bleeding cash with no rental income and ongoing payment obligations. Investor B's property lost value on paper. Prices fell across the entire market, but the tenants stayed, the rent kept coming in. And when distressed sellers started offloading quality assets at crisis prices in 2009 and 2010, Investor B had the cash flow and the confidence to buy. By 2014, when Dubai's market had fully recovered and prices surpassed their pre-crisis peaks in most established areas, Investor B's portfolio had tripled. Not because they predicted the crash, not because they got lucky with timing, but because their strategy was built on fundamentals that worked in any market condition. Same market, same crash, completely different outcome. The story of Investor A and B isn't unusual. It's actually the most common pattern in Dubai property over the last 20 years. And once you understand it, 3 variables keep appearing as the difference between wealth creation and wealth destruction. Variable 1, location category. Not just where a property is located, but what category of location it represents. Dubai has 3 distinct location types when it comes to investment fundamentals: established areas with proven occupancy and rental history, emerging areas with genuine infrastructure development and a timeline to maturity, and speculative areas that are essentially bets on the city growing in a particular direction. All 3 can produce returns, but they require completely different strategies, timelines, and risk tolerances. Treating them the same way, or not knowing which category you're buying into, is where most investors go wrong. Variable 2, entry price versus intrinsic value. In a hot market, and Dubai has been running hot, it is entirely possible to buy a good property in a good location at a price that structurally cannot generate a return. You're simply paying too much. Intrinsic value in property comes down to two things: what a genuine tenant would pay in rent and what a rational end-user buyer would pay to live there. If your entry price requires either of those numbers to increase significantly before your investment makes sense, you're speculating, not investing. The 2008 crash didn't create bad properties. It revealed properties that had been mispriced during the boom. Intrinsic value doesn't disappear in a correction, but inflated prices do. Variable 3, cash flow structure. This is the one most frequently ignored in appreciation-driven markets, and it's arguably the most important. A property that generates strong rental yield does two things that have nothing to do with capital appreciation. First, it funds itself, meaning your investment isn't dependent on selling at the right time to generate a return. Second, it gives you options in a downturn, the ability to hold, to refinance, or to buy more when others are forced to sell. Dubai's rental yields are among the highest of any major global city, typically ranging from 6 to 10% in well-selected assets, compared to 2 to 4% in London or New York. That structural advantage only works if you choose assets where the yield is real and sustainable, not projected. Location category, entry price versus intrinsic value, and cash flow structure. 3 variables. Every property decision you make in Dubai can be assessed against these 3 filters. If a deal doesn't hold up across all 3, it's speculation. And there's nothing wrong with speculation if you know that's what you're doing and you're comfortable with the risk. But if you're building a portfolio, if you want Dubai property to create durable, compounding wealth, these aren't optional filters, they're the entire framework. The Dubai property market in 2025 is not the same market it was in 2007. The regulatory environment is stronger, the population is larger and more diverse, the economic base is broader, the infrastructure is genuinely world-class. It is worth addressing the obvious question directly, though. The wider Middle East is currently under a degree of geopolitical stress that serious investors can't ignore. Conflict in neighbouring regions, shifting alliances, elevated uncertainty, and yet, if you track the capital flow data from the last 2 years, Dubai has not retreated from that environment, it has absorbed it. High net worth individuals and institutional capital have continued moving into the emirate, not out of it. That isn't denial of risk, it's a reflection of something structural. Dubai has been deliberately engineered to sit outside regional conflict dynamics, politically neutral, economically diversified, and connected to every major financial center on Earth. It functions less like a Middle Eastern city-state and more like a global transit hub for capital and talent. That positioning doesn't make it immune to regional events, but it does mean the market processes external shocks differently than you might expect. And the opportunity is real. Prices in many established areas are still significantly below what comparable assets cost in London, Singapore, or Hong Kong. The yield advantage is structural and unlikely to disappear. The golden visa and residency pathways have fundamentally changed the long-term demand picture. But the market being good doesn't mean every decision in the market is good. The same dynamic that makes Dubai exciting for serious investors, the pace of change, the range of options, the speed of growth, also makes it easy to overpay, to misread a location, or to build a portfolio on yield projections that don't hold up. The investors who build real wealth here are not the ones who move fastest. They're the ones who understand what they're buying, why the numbers work, and what the exit looks like before they write the first check. If you're considering entering the real estate market in the UAE or anywhere else in the world, or if you already have exposure and want to pressure test your portfolio against these 3 variables, we work directly with established and aspiring investors at every stage of that process. The link to book a consultation is in the description. If this was useful, subscribe. We publish videos regularly on property investment, portfolio management, and a range of ways to make sure your assets work for you, and none of it is generic.